If you are struggling with your weight, I was too. I was really struggling to lose weight for 2 years. I just kept putting on the weight until something finally clicked and the weight fell off. Here is my before and after. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about all the weight that I lost, how I did it, and I wasn't taking any medications to do it. So there's so much that I want to share with you. I kind of want to just kind of go over a little bit of my journey very briefly in case you didn't see my original video. But something that I want you to keep in mind as I'm speaking to you is this. If you're struggling, think about the future version of you. Do you see yourself active and enjoying your life and having a great quality of life? Or do you see yourself needing help and assistance? I see myself being strong and being able to get around and having a great quality of life as I am now. That is my goal, is to stay healthy and active and strong. Building muscle is really important for our bones. And I wish somebody would have told me that when I was younger, how important it is to work out with weights. Although I have always worked out with weights. I've been working out weights since I was in my 20s. But I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm actually seeing muscle growth. Like my legs especially, I'm seeing toned legs. So 5 years ago when I was thin, before I started gaining weight, I was skinny fat. I didn't have a lot of tone in my body. And now I do. And I want to keep building that. I just didn't realize how important it was to my bones. And it is so important. It's so important. And I want to also say something else too that's really important. Our age group is being targeted. And there's so much misinformation out there. And I understand how all of you feel, because as somebody that's 59, I will be 60 next year. I just turned 59 this year. Our skin changes. For some of us, our hair changes. Our bodies are changing, and it's frustrating. And all you keep hearing is menopause, is menopause, is menopause. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to take something. You don't have to. HRT is not going to help you lose weight. That is the biggest lie. I asked my doctor actually, because I was like, put me on progesterone if that's going to help me lose the weight. She's like, no, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to help you lose weight. A lot of people are taking GLP-1s. And that's between you and your doctor, and it's none of my business. But there are so many women that think that that is the only way that they can lose weight, and that's not true. It's not. It's scary. I feel like you're taking a medicine. Do you know what the effects are going to be later on in life? Like, I don't want to be on medications. I don't want to be on medications. But there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of coaches out there too that don't give you the whole story because they want you to pay for their information. And I get it, they have a business, but there is somebody that I'm following. That is the reason that I lost weight. One of the reasons. I mean, obviously I did the work, but I feel like she gave it to me straight. I'll talk about hair in a little bit, okay? And then there's also social media doctors that are telling you that you have to take these certain supplements, buy my supplements and my fiber and all that, and you're going to lose weight, and you have to be in an intermittent fasting and all that. I tried intermittent fasting, and I think I mentioned this in another video. I tried intermittent fasting. I actually ended up gaining weight, and all I thought about all day is how hungry I was until I ate, and then it was like then I felt like I had to hurry up and get all my calories in because I'm not going to eat till later. It was just not healthy for me. If it works for you, that's great, but you don't have to intermittent fast. You really, really don't. So, really briefly, I've always been a thin person. I've gained weight here and there. We all do. Gain a couple pounds here and there, you lose it. Well, when I started to get my 50s, it started to, I really fluctuated. And then when I got past 55, 55 and up, that's when it started. About 4 years ago, I started struggling with my weight. And then I finally decided to go to a trainer. She was not very helpful, did not teach me nutrition. Nutrition is the key to losing weight. You could walk for 20 freaking miles, but if you are not eating right, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Okay. Exercise is important for all your organs and your muscles and joints and just all of that, your bones. That's what exercise is good for. But you got to eat right too. So her thing was, don't have more than a fistful. Well, that fistful could have a lot of calories in it. You know what I mean? So, like, I never thought I was eating a lot. I thought I was on a calorie deficit because I wasn't eating a lot. Okay. I was half assing it. I wasn't weighing my food. I wasn't tracking. I wasn't doing any of that. But I'm like, I'm hardly eating anything. Yeah, but there's a lot of calories in it. And once you start tracking, you'll understand. So I was half assing it. I ended up gaining weight when I was going to her, and I was not muscle weight, believe me. So I stopped going to her, tried doing it on my own, still was having the same issue. Like I would lose a couple pounds and I would get, it just went like that. I just never could lose the weight. I had a lot of fat around my waist. So my clothes weren't fitting me. Even my shirts weren't fitting me. Like shirts wouldn't fit, like my clothes weren't fitting me. I don't even know how I stayed in it because I never wanted to go up in a size. Um, I lost 23 pounds from beginning to end, and my clothes fit me now, and I feel much better because I've been in a calorie deficit. That is the key, you guys, to being in a calorie deficit. So if you are half-assing it like I was and not weighing your food and not measuring and tracking and all of that, it's why you're not losing weight. Another reason you might not be losing weight is you might not be in a calorie deficit. You might either be in maintenance or surplus. So you have to make sure that you're figuring out your calories right. Because if it's not moving the scale, then you got to figure that out. So maybe you have to go and eat a little bit less, but you got to figure that out. There's calculators out there that you can figure out. So I can't tell you what I'm doing because it has nothing to do. We're all different. It depends on what your goal is and all of that. And if you're still not sure, I would say find a nutritionist because I'm not ever going to share with you guys what I eat in a day because that is irrelevant to you. What I eat in a day has nothing to do with you. It really doesn't. It's really it you're going to be eating differently than I am. You know what I mean as far as calories and all that. So you have to figure that out for yourself. All right? And then if you are somebody that you have not worked out in a while, or maybe you have some back issues or something, please get a trainer. It's important to be exercising. Don't use your age as a like you can't do it. Yes, you can. I see women that are in their 80s and 90s in gyms exercising. Okay. If you want a better quality of life, don't give yourself excuses. I'm giving you the tough love today. But don't do it on your own if you think you're going to hurt yourself. Find a qualified trainer. And don't just do it online either. I feel like you got to find somebody close to you, unless there's somebody you can really trust. All right. The woman's name that I've been following, her name is Beth. She has two last names, Beth Farkas Wilkos. Maybe it's Beth Wilkos Farrago. Anyways, I will put it below. But I will tell you this: if you do not like somebody that curses or keeps it 100%, then do not follow her. Okay, because she does not hold back. But she rammed it into my brain that the only way that I was going to lose weight is to be in a calorie deficit. So what I did is I said, forget the macros for me. You can do it with macros, but it is very confusing. I'll talk a little bit about that. I just made sure that I was eating, not going over my calories, make sure I was getting enough fiber, make sure I was getting my protein in, making sure I was drinking enough water. That's what I did. And everything that went into this mouth here, okay, my pie hole, I made sure that I measure that. It means coffee creamers and yogurt and berries and just everything that I eat, I measure first before I put in my mouth. And I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be shocked. You will be shocked when you start tracking and weighing stuff. You're going to be, oh, yep. Now I know why. Now I know why I wasn't losing weight. This is it right here. That's how simple it is. It's really not hard. It's that we don't want to do it. We're stubborn. I was stubborn. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to weigh my food and measure it and track it every day. I'm like, I don't want that to be my life. I don't want to do it. But you know what? If I didn't do it, I wouldn't have lost the weight. That's the only way I can do it. Now, some people eventually go off and they don't do that, but I don't have a problem with weighing and I'm always going to do it. But I am not obsessive with it. Like when we occasionally go out to dinner, we go out to dinner maybe once or twice a month. We go out. I'm enjoying myself. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm not going to gain all that weight back. I'm not going to gain a bunch of fat from that meal. So I enjoy myself. And that's something like I've lost weight. I've had chocolate. Remember when I didn't eat sugar? Yeah. Okay. Well, I have chocolate. I have hamburgers. I've had pizza. I've had chips. I've had cocktails. I've enjoyed bread. I've enjoyed like myself as I've been losing weight. Do I have that every day? No, no, I don't. But actually, I do have chocolate every day. I do have that every day. But um, I just this is what I do. If I know I'm going to go out on the weekend, I save a little bit of calories every single day. I'm not telling you this is what you should do. I'm just telling you this is what I do because my calorie count for the day, I mean, that's like my whole added up. That's what I have to have for the whole week. So I just save a little bit of calories when I know I'm going to be going out. So save a little bit so then I'm not completely going over. That's what I do. I just save a little bit of calories. But now I'm going to be on maintenance. I'm slowly easing into maintenance. That's just my personal choice. You do not have to do that. I just want to because it took me 2 years to lose the weight because I wasn't doing it right. So I'm just kind of like baby steps. So I'm baby steps into my maintenance weight, which is more, or maintenance calories, which is, more, and it's going to be different for everybody. Not everybody's maintenance calories are going to be the same. Everybody's going to be different. That's another thing you got to figure out for yourself. Now, as far as macros go, I would love to figure that out, but it is so confusing. It really is. Because, example, say I have to have 30 grams of protein for breakfast and 15 grams of carbs for breakfast, and then I have to have like 12 grams of fats. I'm just throwing numbers out there, okay? So then I have to get foods that are going to line up with that, with all of those, plus also equal out in the right amount of calories, and I have to do that for every meal, and it is not easy to do. And that's another reason why too a lot of people end up eating the same foods, because once you figure that out, you really can't go off of it. You can't just wing it. You really have to know with every meal what that is. But when you do count your macros, you do tend to build more muscle too, which I would like to build more muscle. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that on my own. Maybe eventually I might have somebody help me with that, but I'm just not there right now. I'm just thankful that I lost the weight. I do see my body getting toned. I would like to get more toned, but I'm just very, very happy with where I am. I'm very proud of myself. I think we all have to get to a point where we're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was having back issues too. My back was going out. That's how this all started. I was having back issues. And I was walking around like I was much older than I am. And I'm like, I don't want this. And I don't want somebody helping me off a toilet someday. All right. I don't want somebody helping me off a chair. I don't want to have a walker or a cane or a scooter or a wheelchair. Like, I want to always be mobile. That is my goal. That's why I do what I do. My grandfather lived to be 95. He worked until he was 90, not because he had to, because he wanted to. He did not exercise, but he was active. He was active. I think that's really important, is being active. So I walk 10,000 steps a day, which I didn't know how I was going to do that, but I made it happen. I don't do it all at once. So I will do like 6,000 steps, and then throughout the day, I count my steps, and then I will make sure I get 10,000 steps for the end of the night. I will get 10,000 steps in for the day. That's my goal. Some people do 15, 20,000 steps. That's great. I feel like I'm good with 10,000 right now. And there are times when I go over that, especially if we're out walking around someplace, then I will get more steps in. But I always make sure that I get at least 10,000 steps a day. But the whole process was not hard. It's just I wasn't doing it right. I was half-assing it. That's why I wasn't losing the weight. So I have nobody to blame but myself. I think we're all trying to find like an easier way. And I'm part of that, okay? I just wanted it easier. And It really I know weighing your food and tracking it seems like a pain in the ass, but I promise you it's not. Once you start doing it, it's like it's just especially me, like, I pretty much eat the same thing every single day, I really do, and you always wanna make sure that you are measuring in grams too. It's the most accurate measure in grams. Make sure you track it. I use MyFitnessPal. There's other apps out there. Use whatever. I just use a free version right now. You really don't need to get the other version unless you're tracking your macros. If you're tracking your macros, you probably want to get the paid version because it's going to make it a lot easier for you, but you can see what you are, you can still keep track of it on the free version, and that's just what I use. It's like, oh, I think it's $75, $80 a year now for MyFitnessPal. So it's like, yeah, I don't really need that right now. If I start tracking my macros, and maybe I'll do that. But um that's it, you guys. And I as far as working out, I walk 7 days a week. I do 10,000 steps 7 days a week. I think it's like 4 point something miles. I don't know what it is. I just worry about how many steps I'm getting. Okay. And then I do weights 4 times a week. So like today was my leg day. Tomorrow's going to be my arm day. So my schedule is Mondays I do my arms, my upper body. I do my upper body at a walk. Tuesdays, I just do a walk. Wednesdays, I do my lower body and a walk. Thursday, I do my upper body and a walk. Friday, I just do a walk. Saturday, I do my lower body and walk. And then Sunday, I do a walk. That's how my schedule is. So it's almost every other day kind of a thing. And it works out really, really well for me. You don't have to do 4 days a week. I mean, some people do three, but I feel like I want to hit my upper body and lower body at least 2 times a week, so that's why I do that for me. And I do it at home. I don't go to a gym. I don't want to go to a gym. I like doing it on my own. I don't need anybody pushing me to do it. If I actually had to go someplace, because when I was going to trainer, I actually hated going there because I hated like that I had to get in the car and drive there. Like, no, I just get up and I do it. I don't need the motivation or the push to do it. It's just part of my routine. It's just something I do. It's like brushing my teeth. I just do it. So if you've been struggling, I promise you, you can do this. You can do it, but you have to be motivated to want to do it. You don't need to take any special medicine. You don't. And if you, like I said, if you've been trying, you're like, I'm tracking and I'm not losing weight, or you get stuck, then you need to speak to someone. And something else I want to mention too is you don't want to be in a deficit for too long. Like I said, I was in deficit for 2 years or whatever. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I'm done with my deficit now. All right. So now I'm in maintenance. Now, if I had a lot more weight to lose, I would have to stop still and maintain. And I don't even know how long I'd have to maintain. I don't know if it's like a month or two. That's why if you have a lot of weight to lose, you might want to just contact somebody and get help with that, or do your research, ask your doctor, whatever. Okay. Because I know you should not be in a deficit for too long. So you want to get into that deficit and get out. So if you have a lot of weight to lose, you're going to have to be very patient. You're going to lose the weight, but it's not going to just fall off. But you have to remember, it didn't just go on overnight. It's not going to come out overnight. Um, I didn't have for me, it was a lot of weight. For me, it was a lot of weight. I know for a lot of people it isn't, but to me, that was a lot of weight for me. My clothes weren't fitting me, and I didn't look good in the clothes that I had. So yeah, but if you have a lot of weight to lose, you just have to be patient. You're going to lose the weight. Just be patient. You will see it come off. It might take a year for it to all come off, but you're going to see progress if you are in a calorie deficit. And if you talk to anybody, if you speak to anybody that knows what they're talking about, they're going to tell you you need to be a calorie deficit. And the thing about a GLP-1 is it helps to curb your appetite, so you're eating less. So basically, that's what you have to do. You just have to eat less. You're eating too many calories and you're putting on weight. That's what I was doing. And it might not seem like it. You might just be like hardly eating any food and you're gaining weight. That was me. But I was eating too many calories. That's what I was doing. And you have to see what you're drinking. If you're a soda pop drinker, if you drink too much alcohol, whatever. I wasn't. I've actually cut back on alcohol about 4 years ago. So I don't drink at home anymore. The only time I have something is when we go out. Now I don't drink at home anymore. I just don't. It's just too easy to do. And I just don't. I don't feel the need to do it, and I enjoy it when we go out, and that's about it. If I had to cut it out altogether, I would do it. It's not really a big deal. I enjoy it, but it's not like a big deal. So, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. I feel like I film this so many times and I edit it and I'm like, I forgot to mention something. But yeah, just I know you can do it. Please don't give up. Don't give up. You can do this. You can do this. You've got to be on a calorie deficit, though. It's the only way. It's the only way you're going to do it. But you have to want to do it. And exercise for your health. Cut back on the food for the weight. And you have to figure that out. Don't starve yourself. Don't do that, because then if you do that, you're just going to end up binge eating. And the protein and the fiber is going to help to make you, and water drinking too, is going to help to keep yourself full so you're not feeling hungry all the time. So, anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it. Again, this is my before and after. I'm really proud of myself and I want to keep the weight off, and I will do that. And I really hope that this was motivating for you. I hope this was inspiring for you. Don't give up, all right? If you are new here, I would love to have you join. I share new videos every single week. Please consider smashing that subscribe button below. It's free. I would greatly appreciate it too. If you've enjoyed it, please make sure you like, share, and comment on the video. Helps to push them out to algorithm. Would really, really appreciate it. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.